This is really going to be a huge week in crypto. Welcome back to Crypto Rosetta, ladies and gentlemen, with Joe. It's great to be back for another video here today. Now, if you're brand new on the channel for the very first time, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and you'll never miss a show. We really do appreciate all the new subscribers who've joined the show recently, as we're heading up to 500, which is absolutely great. As ever, if you enjoyed this content, go ahead and smash that like. I really do appreciate it. Now, let's get into it, because I do think this is going to be, a really big week. It's been really interesting, what's been happening last week. We've seen the, continuation of green candles. We've seen this, strong rally for the majority of January. Has pushed a bit higher than I was initially expecting, but certainly, I'm not massively surprised that this has actually played out the way it has so far. But what I think happens next now is absolutely critical. So I'm here, early this morning. By the time this video goes out, it'll be a bit later in the day. We've got a few things going on today. But time of recording, I've got Bitcoin around 23,600. Did see it have that, push yesterday on Sunday. And I'm always suspicious of Sunday pumps. I'm always, cautious. I always say, I think it's the cartel. I think it's your Binance exchanges pumping it. I don't think it's retail moving those candles, especially on a Sunday. So yeah, 23,600-ish here at time recording. I do think this morning that we're probably going to lose 23,000. That's my prediction. Like I said, by the time this video goes out, that may or may not have played out. Reason why is looking at the stock futures last night, I was keen to see them open red, keen rather, and they have opened red as I expected, just slightly, and I do think that they can pull back a little bit further. It's a big week on the stock market. In terms of earnings, we're expecting more earnings data to come through this week, and also we've got that big, really important FOMC meeting. I know a lot of hype is made about these FOMC meetings, a lot certainly last year, but I do really think that this is one of the most significant for many months. Reason being, I think that is just because of it's really about the first of the year, setting up where we think 2023 is going. Now, going back to Bitcoin and crypto, I do think again we're at these kind of major resistance levels. Every K we're going up at the moment. Do I think it's possible that 25K can happen? It's not my primary expectation, but I do think it can happen. But equally, the local high could possibly be in for now, being last night around that 23,900. Did it just fail to get to 24K? If something bullish happens, we get more bullish earnings out this week, then yeah, we're going to go through those levels, in my opinion. But just be careful there, guys. I'm still, currently, out of the market in terms of buying spot. That's just personally what I'm doing. I'm not criticizing, anyone who's dollar cost averaging at these levels. However, what I will say is look at where we've just come from. We've just come from 16K up to almost 24K, in a very short space of time. So would I be, aping in now? No, don't panic, don't FOMO, don't think you've missed it out. I can't guarantee what anything that's going to happen, but even if the bottom was in, folks, which I don't believe it is, but let's just say it was, you're going to get in on a pullback. We've seen it all the time. You must like realize by now that there's going to be some kind of correction. There will be some lower price than probably right now. By the time you watch this video, I don't think it's personally the time to buy. Now, with these strong rallies, if you're a believer of bear market continuation, which I personally am, you'll know that all the way through last year that the higher these rallies got, the better these opportunities that were given to short the market if you're interested in trading. Now, if you're interested in leverage trading or short the market in particular, check out our link in the description below for our trader tier, and also we've got our affiliate to BYBIT, which gives you a bonus for trading. But yeah, come into our Discord if you're certainly interested in trading with us. Now, these rallies, they give that great opportunity to short the market, and I did take a short on Phantom last night, currently up quite well on that trade this morning. Already moved the stop loss into no loss, and potentially looking to lock in some gains later on as the day progresses, but we'll see how it goes. I am still short on Prime XBT. Again, we've got a link for that below. Still short on the SP 500, Nasdaq and Dow Jones now. also, still looking at trades on gold, and I'm also, paying attention to things like nat gas. I do think that's, potentially heading to an historic low. Not looking to heavy long that yet, but I think that's a long coming up potentially in the future. So there's huge amounts of volatility at the minute, huge amounts of, great potential trades to be making, especially if you don't kind of feel that the market's just going to go sideways here, which I don't. I do think we're either something's going to happen here, and maybe the bull run's back on. Maybe I'm wrong, folks, but that's personally not what I think is going to happen. I do think we're going to hit some major resistance here and see the next leg down and see that next major dump. Now, Ethereum is one to be watching out for as well, because again, I'm seeing Ethereum back high up at resistance and seems to be reacting a bit this morning. And if that starts to break down again, I think it's going to be really bearish for the vast majority of altcoins. And if Ethereum goes even back to those sort of $1,200 or lower levels, which I do think will happen, these altcoins are going to be leading out. So if you bought some of these altcoins when Bitcoin was around 15, 16, 17k, great, well done to you, because obviously I expect that you'll be on some significant profits on those altcoins, and that's great news. But what I want to get the message across here is, folks, that never ever forget that unrealized profits and realized profits, there's a huge difference between both. Okay, so again, I can't tell you what to do. You've got to make your own decisions, but seriously, consider locking in some gains potentially. I think that's really important, because the chance of a pullback here, if you just look at the RSIs just as one indicator, for example, these weekly RSIs on your likes of your Bitcoin, on your Ethereum, haven't been this high since the all-time highs. That was the last time they were this high, the all-time highs, folks. Just let that sink in. So higher than when Bitcoin was at 48k, higher than it was 30k, and look where we are. We're in low 20ks here, and the RSIs. So I know it's only one indicator. I always say you never trade off one indicator or two indicators. You have to put a few indicators together. But bearing in mind, we've got this FOMC meeting coming up. Okay, I'm still personally expecting the likes of Powell, to forget the base points. Okay, forget the changes in the base points. Just let that follow suit. But it's about the comments he made. I still think the markets are, I still think the Fed's going to be pretty hawkish, in my opinion. And the stronger these rallies are, the more I think that they want to bring them back down again. And it's all about still managing and controlling inflation, because if these markets start shooting up too quickly, that's not going to help ease inflation as fast as the Fed wants to, and for good reason. So educate yourself. Just make sure you're aware of all this that's going on. What I will say is, to help make yourself aware of all this going on, is just watch out for all these Moonboy accounts on Twitter. I will put out this morning, after this video rather, that I do believe that we're starting to see all these kind of bullish comments, bullish tweets and whatever, making ridiculous price predictions, and Bitcoin's going to the moon, and Bitcoin's going to be $1 million again. And we've seen all this last year, and it's when these Moonboy accounts got oh, it's over, I was wrong, blah blah blah, that was when the market started to reverse and the rallies started. Once we got to the end of the rallies, they start talking about $1 million Bitcoin, and we're going back to the moon again. And that's exactly what we're seeing today, yesterday, and over the last few days or so. So, again, not financial advice. I'm not saying it's a definite sell signal, but what I'm saying is be careful. We've seen this time and time again. Why would it not happen again? If you think, no, this is actually the time that the moon boys are going to be right and we're definitely off to the moon, not got a problem. But leave us a comment below, interact, and let us know why you feel that the bull run 2023 is starting right now. But in my opinion, I don't believe it is. Looking at the DXY again this morning, I do expect a little uptick on that. I'm not saying that the local bottom is definitely in on the DXY. I still, if you've been following my previous videos, that I do want to see 101 hold, but I don't think it's definitely over. If 101 was lost, it just means that where we're going to have to retrace from, we may not be going to a new high, but there will still be a retrace eventually, which will be bearish for risk assets, and I do expect that at the absolute minimum to play out. but still my primary expectation is at least another high on the DXY. 122 range is kind of what I'm expecting to see. So stay focused on the DXY, folks. That's one thing that's not going away. Again, you've got accounts talking about Bitcoin saying macroeconomics isn't affecting it, DXY isn't affecting it, blah blah blah. It's absolute nonsense, folks. We've seen stock futures red last night, and we've already seen a reaction and a dump this morning. I know you guys following the channel, I'd like to think that the vast majority of you are intelligent enough to understand that, and that's why you're following Crypto Rosetta, so thank you for your support. Now, updates on the channel as well. Thanks to everyone who's been supporting CryptComps. If those who don't know, check out cryptcomps.com. We've got a competition where you can win £10,000 worth of Bitcoin or any other crypto for that matter, so any crypto of your choice. And yeah, we've only got 4,000 tickets available, and we've sold almost 1,000 tickets already for the current competition. So I'm going to be absolutely buzzing to give away that. Myself and IK are going to be absolutely buzzing rather, to give away that prize. It's going to be amazing. So good luck to everyone who's entered with that, and hopefully we'll be drawing that competition at some stage next month. So absolutely can't wait for that. Again, Savage has been absolutely crushing the TA. Thank you all to giving us the TA request for which videos you'd like to see charted, with Savage doing the Elliott Wave theory. Again, if you're new to the channel, go check out previous videos. We're doing a whole host of altcoins and Bitcoin daily, so I'm sure there's a good chance you'll be invested in one or two of those coins. Now, I've had people asking me, Joe, when are you going to be getting back into the market? What kind of things are you looking to see to buy spot positions? And again, I've said, look, I never say the bottom is definitely not in. It's just my opinion, it's not. But if it is, and if I'm wrong, it's okay, because I still think I'm going to see, a change in the macro perspective, which is going to, that time will come which will flip me bullish. But for me, that time is not now. I'm just kind of not seeing it. The reason I'm not seeing it is one of the biggest reasons is the charts, folks. Okay, I love the charts, and I always think you have to have your own opinion on how you read the charts. And I love looking at the history of charts, and even pre-crypto and pre-Bitcoin, I enjoy looking at the history of the charts. And I'm looking at like the likes of the S&P, looking at the likes of the Dow Jones, and I'm seeing where they're at the minute. There's similar time frames. There was a strong pullback in 2003 after the rally and recovery of the dot-com bubble. There was a strong decent 2001 2002 recovery into 2003 sort of levels right now, hit resistances, and it came back down. And I do think that something similar like that could play out. With coronavirus dumped the market initially sharp, and then we seen an epic run to new all-time highs in markets, and now prices have got overinflated, market all these stocks overpriced, and I think that's kind of what happens. And I do think that this is a grand multi-year correction. I did talk January last year about it being in my opinion a strong chance of a multi-year bear market, and I do think that is what's playing out. Now again, you'll get all the moon boys talking about the history of Bitcoin and the history of cryptocurrency, but you have to be so careful of this, folks, because never ever forget that, again, crypto's only ever known a macro bull run. Okay, it's never been in a macro bear market. So where they say, oh, we have these 1 year bear markets, and then it's green for 3 years, then it's a 4 year cycle, 4 year cycle, 4 year cycle. Eventually, folks, the 4 year cycle is no longer going to be a 4 year cycle. It's not going to work like that forever. Okay, there's not going to be a market where every 4 years you can just buy at the same time and it just goes up forever. Again, could I be wrong? Yeah, absolutely, but I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to be wrong on this, okay? It's not going to just go up and up and up forever. Do I think cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, everything can go to new highs? Yeah, absolutely, why not? Great, that's what we want. That's what we want, folks. But I do also think that they can go a lot lower than a lot of people expect as well, so just be careful, and that's kind of what I'm expecting, because I do think that this is crypto's first bear market in the macro bear market, and therefore I do personally think there's a good chance of the 4 year cycle getting invalidated. Now, it's not invalid yet, I admit it's not invalid yet, it could still be on, but only time will tell. So this is why these next few months are going to be, really key. I did on my last video say I was bearish for February across the board, and you know, that's kind of where I'm at the minute. And I'm even more bearish on February just because of how strong the rally has been in January. Again, folks, if I get this wrong, that's fine, not a problem. I've been out the market. We'll see what happens by the time we're in March. You know, February rally continues. I'm not going to think I've missed anything major, because I still, you know, even if you're buying now, or you're buying at 25k, or whenever you're buying, I wasn't buying when Bitcoin was at 40k, 45k. Like, all these people have been buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip on the way down, and it's going to take them so long to get out of negative equity, whereas, you know, I'm positive equity from last year by not buying into the market to that stage and then shorting those rallies. So that's how I made money last year, okay folks, so I'm okay. Whether you've been buying the dip all the way down and you're a hodler, I'm not going to criticize you, folks. That was, you know, your strategy, and I want to see you get back into positive equity. I really do, you know, want everyone to be successful. You know, I'm not naive. Of course, you know, people will make mistakes in markets, and unfortunately, this is the way markets work. Not everyone is going to win, especially when it comes to trading. You know, we see like statistics like over 90% of people are, you know, losing the money on Binance and BYBIT trading futures and whatever. And this is why, you know, I always try to teach risk management, why risk management is so important, to, you know, get into that 5-10% to make yourself profitable. And that's how I was, you know, profitable over the last kind of 6 months trading, because I managed to, you know, learn the risk management and learning how to lose trades. You know, I always say I can still lose 4 out of 5 trades and be profitable by taking micro losses and then getting that big win. So that's just my strategy. There's multiple different strategies. You'll get traders who say, oh, I win 9 out of 10 trades and whatever. Good luck to them. That's great. You know, they're master traders and they manage to do that. Not got, you know, fantastic. That's just not how I do it. But, you know, maybe one day, who knows, folks. You know, obviously always trying to improve and learn all the time, and you can just continuously, you know, educate yourself in this market. And that's also what, you know, we try to do through the Patreon, the Discord. That's why we have the Elliott Wave theory lessons for Savage that, you know, available to, you know, VIP patrons, and that's why, you know, people are giving us great feedback, thoroughly enjoying those lessons. And we're also seeing, though, in our traders here, I'm personally seeing it, you know, more success of people trading since they've, you know, been doing these Elliott Wave lessons of Savage. So, you know, that's absolutely fantastic, and we love all the feedback that we're getting continuously. As the channel will grow, we're going to continue to add more features, so thank you to all, you know, the early subscribers. We're still super early on this channel, right? So we're always looking to improve all the time, so more things are going to, you know, come out, which is going to be great. Now, I'm going to wrap this up with just, you know, final thoughts of where do I think this market is going to go this week. I did say that I do think, you know, unless something, you know, dramatically bullish comes out of the FOMC, which I don't think personally is going to happen, but again, could be wrong. I do think, you know, that there's possible that either the local high on Bitcoin was in last night, just below 24k, or, you know, obviously if you're following Savage's TA, there is also the potential Elliott Wave count where we pull back for that 4th wave and then go for one more high. So that 4th wave, excuse me, may have started, and then, you know, we may get that one more last suckers rally before the breakdown. Equally, though, I wouldn't be surprised if what we've actually just seen, you know, is an extended, what would look like an extended wave 3, which actually was, you know, really extended C wave, which does, you know, eventually break down if things get more bearish. Either way, I'm using risk management. I'm just still getting in short positions, not going super heavy though. And I'm not going super heavy because, again, it's bear market strategy for me. When you're looking to go on this bull run and go long, folks, okay, there's infinite upside potential. But when you're shorting, never forget there's only so much you can go down. So you've already got more risk shorting in essence anyway, because you can't just, you know, keep chasing it down, chasing it back forever rather. But again, small positions, tight stop losses, and, you know, just waiting to see, you know, if it plays out. And you stop out, you just go and get a little higher position and go again. Eventually, the rally will correct and there will be a drop, which you can cash in on. And again, if you've stopped out a few times, as long as you're only taking small losses, or this is how I'm doing it, if only I'm taking small losses, and then when it breaks down, that's how I make money trading, folks. So I'm going to continue doing that, and yeah, it's playing out. So I think it's going to be, you know, a really interesting week. We'll obviously see how these FOMC meetings, how this FOMC meeting goes rather, and yeah, we'll see if we get that reversal on the DXY, get the pull back on gold and pull back on other assets. But once that DXY eventually confirms that reversal, folks, it's going to be bearish for risk assets. Thank you so much for watching, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the content, smash the like, and I'll see you again.